Monfries, Neagle almost. And Davey, down to you, Tim.
There were some concerned looks on the Bombers bench a moment ago. Tate Pears came from the ground clutching his hamstring, but it looks like it might have just been cramp in that part of his leg. They're now working on his calf muscle, so I think the signs are going to be okay for him.
Ottens setting Bartel a task. Almost the equal of it. Dyson. Reamers. Full-chested, forced his way through, goes very short. Not sure that was his intention. Maybe a missed kick. Lonergan had it, lost it. Zaharakis, who's been dashing on occasions, kicks it down towards the forward line. Leading back in the race, Monfries jabs at it. Did he miss the post? He did. He missed the fat bit and bounced it through.
Yes, he's a good opportunity player, isn't he, Monfries? He's very good in there. I just was looking at just big picture Gary Ablett, who's sort of really only had, by his stands, hasn't been sensational, but he's had 32 disposals, kicked a couple of goals. I mean, that is just a really good game without appearing to be a dominating influence. And he and Bartel, of course, he's joined in the party, and really it's been very much this last 40 minutes of play have been all Geelong.
So a couple to Monfries, Watson with 2, and a couple to Zaharakis and Davey. So the crowd tonight close to 58,000, over 70,000 last night. It's in a terrific game tonight. The score did blow out. It's closing a bit now. Geelong seemingly safe.
To that other point, the mention of Tate Pears, anything like a cramp in your hamstring is usually not. And very rarely is it just a cramp that's going to be okay tomorrow morning. It's usually, you do a hamstring, it feels like a cramp.
And he's a player they can ill afford to lose, I think, Tate Pears.
He's a very promising player back there.
He and Hooker started so well tonight. Selwood's handball, a good one to Kelly. Now Milburn. Neat little kick down the line. Johnson trying to be creative. He'll win it back. Selwood helping him out. Back to Ling. Such an important goal the captain kicked in that third quarter. Back to Johnson. Kick to centre half forward. Chapman read it best. Floats it to full forward. Duncan. Well done, Dyson. Off the ground. Kelly. Goal.
James Kelly's just chipped away. He's ended up with 21 possessions at the moment and a couple of goals. It's a really impressive thing. He's almost been playing that forward, probably Max Rook type role. He's laid 7 tackles. Again, another one of those players, 25, 26, 150 games, and they just don't grow on trees. And that's the, I mean, he probably epitomises the depth of the Geelong Footy Club at the moment.
Just their class to still be able to play to the level as they've got tired later in the game. That's been the distinct factor.
Well, for those naysayers who said no Harley, no Geelong, think again.
There weren't too many of them, Dennis, let's be honest.
Oh, come on. Dying minutes of the game. Geelong 18-11. Essendon 13-15. Good game for 3 quarters. Terrific game. Watson breaks away. Kicked early goals. Not the fastest man in the world, but he improvised as he was going to ground. Got boot to ball. Neagle sort of punched it back into the corridor. Wojcinski in trouble. Zaharakis has been good. Feeds it out to Prismal. Ditto. Winderlick runs outside the 50. A little chip to Dyson. Now he can, or rather Welsh. Welsh goes inside the 50 yet again, and the mark is taken by Hocking.
Top. One more. That's it.
Showing a few scars there, Hocking. Nice mouse under that left eye.
Yeah.
This will take a good kick. He is a long kick, but he'll have to give it everything because I dare say, like everybody else on this football ground, he's pretty tired. Heath Hocking from 52 metres. Powerful kick, but just off to the left.
Considering big picture what to make tonight, I picked Geelong to be premiers before round 1. I'm less confident after tonight, for whatever reason. And Essendon, I think, have been reasonably impressive. They've just run out of gas, really, as the game goes on. But they've been pretty good. We know there's been a big chunk of experienced players left the club, but they've been pretty vibrant tonight.
Kick over the top from Mooney. Chapman onto it. Lovely kick forward. Bartel. Kicks his second.
We spoke all night, haven't we, about the Essendon defence playing in front, and that the ability to do that depends on the midfield pressure, not allowing the Geelong to run the ball through the middle, and as they've done. And as the game's gone on, a lot of occasions they've been able to turn the defence and very much get behind them.
It's actually going to be a great game for the Essendon coaching staff to review.
Yeah.
And to sort of see the ebb and flow between the game and the transition, and the floodgates open in the last quarter.
Only Stanton has had more possessions than that man, Jimmy Bartell. He's had 29. Most of them hard-earned.
Also proves what I guess we already know about Geelong, that their midfield kicks goals. That is an enormous strength of their midfield. They not only win the ball in the middle, they kick goals.
And they kick a few together. Clutches of goals. Winderlick gets back. Low down. Was that a push in the back? It was.
Free kick for holding.
And the free kick will go to young Howland.
Just the real positive has been, I guess, one of the question marks is with the delayed start and interrupted preparation, where they could run the game out. And I think players like Bartell, Corey Sell would have probably proved that theory incorrect.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Big game coming up on Sunday as well at Etihad Stadium. We've got the Western Bulldogs against Collingwood. Looking forward to that one. Some great football in the opening round. Ablett again. He's got 29 and joins Bartell. Gets ahead of Bartell. Comes back to Ling. What a weekend of sport here in Melbourne. We've got the Formula One as well. We're practicing today. And that noise all across the city. Great sporting capital of Australia, Melbourne. And of course, WrestleMania. Who could forget that in Phoenix over the weekend? John Cena going against Batista.
I forgot about that, Dennis, actually. I've got to be honest.
There you go, Tom. Just thought I'd bring it up. Use the Formula One to get into WrestleMania. There goes the kick from Joel Corey down towards half forward.
We just knew you were going somewhere, then. Hooker did well. Slattery. Back to Reamers. Off one step to half forward. Ryder. It's had no impact, really, Ryder. Certainly not forward, anyway, as a big forward.
We mentioned that point about Pears, the crampy hamstring. Well, he's gone back onto the field, so that's certainly a good sign that maybe it just was a cramp and not a strain.
So Blake and Ryder. Johnson in the back half. Ablett did well, did very well. Got up off his knees to Mackie, back to Johnson. Clever kick around the body. And Burns. What a great year he had last year. 22 games he played, kicked over 30 goals.
We heard about a lot of the Geelong players not doing a whole lot of training pre-Christmas. Is that just not a lot of group training? Is that the point we take from it, Tom?
No, the players 10-year plus, so I guess from the draft date, Joel Corey, Cameron Ling and above were instructed to stay away for 3 months and couldn't present until January the 5th.
Do their own training, but don't come and do it with the group.
Correct.
Yep.
Of course, we mentioned earlier they haven't been able to get onto Skilled Stadium yet. They've been able to go to St Albans and Newton. We've got not the same configuration.
No, the ground actually had at St Albans is a big ground, but they've only been able to get onto that for the past 2 weeks, so it hasn't been an ideal preparation.
But it's a good result in the end tonight with a terrific final term. They were challenged on more than one occasion. Essendon had a couple of big leads. They had an 18-point lead in the second quarter, a 23-point lead in the third term. But in the end, the Cats got them. And got them handily, didn't they? 125 to 94.